And let me know when you guys can see my slide. Can somebody tell me, unmute themselves and tell me if you can see my slide? Hema, you're having connectivity issues. Vic, thank you so much. All right, let's get started. We'll start with introductions and what this class is all about. My name is Gotuli Chatterjee. I'm currently in my 10th year at Amazon. And prior to this, I've spent about 6 years cumulatively, 3 years as a consultant and 3 years full time in Google, and then 3 years at Microsoft. And over the last couple of years, especially as a bar raiser at Amazon, and just a side note, bar raiser is a type of interviewer at Amazon who can conduct interviews for almost any functional direction within their level or below. So I've been an L7 at Amazon for about 6 years. And to that extent, I've conducted hundreds and hundreds of interviews, not only on product management, which is what I do, but program management, TPM, even a few dev interviews, marketing and growth professionals, BIEs. And over the last couple of years, hiring trends are shifting, obviously because of AI. Um, the way we internally look at hiring, that is shifting because AI and layoff, and we don't know which direction things are going. So companies are scrambling. These big names, right? Amazon, Google, Microsoft. It seems like we have it all together, but that's not always true. And as we are going through this uncertain period, job search has become an art and a science in my mind. And I also teach and train in other platforms. In fact, I'm very new to Maven. This is my second week at Maven. But in the other platforms where I've been training for a long time, there are two questions I'm facing repeatedly, very frequently. Every time I'm having one-on-one mock interviews, prepping folks for interviews, there are two questions that I'm facing. One, should I do AI? Should I change into product management? I'm doing really well in program management and non-tech. Uh, should I move to something else now that there's all these layoffs? And if I do move to AI, what should I focus on? So that's the lightning lesson I had today at 9 a.m. You guys can go and check it out on my page. I also have a YouTube link, and you guys can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. And the second question, which is probably the most frequently asked question, is how do I prepare for the job search? Because the data is, and this data is not blogger, vlogger data, this is actual data, that there needs to be 7,000 applications to a job offer these days. That's obviously averaged out, but job search is no longer what we used to know it to be. That you put specific buzzwords, you revamp your LinkedIn, and recruiters will come and seek you out. That is never coming back again. There are many things that will evolve and change. The number of jobs will stay, the roles might change a little bit, but we should all be able to pay our rent and pay our mortgages. But the fact that recruiters come to our profile and seek us out, that era is gone forever. That is never going to happen again. So, to that extent, if you are a job seeker, there are three things that you need to be prepared with. The first is even before you start on that application journey, set your identity. Next, have a strategy for discoverability. And third is preparation for the interviews. And those are the three things that I am going to cover in this quick lightning session. This question about is AI right for you? AI is here to stay. Unlike all the Bitcoins and the NFTs, this is not a fad. This is not a trend. This is going to go away. This is not going to go away. But what AI takes shape into, that is yet to be seen. When mobile came, when Wi-Fi came, it took a whole number of years before we realized in which ways having internet and Bluetooth is going to change our lives. That we will not read physical books and go into Kindle. The fact that we are going to go from hailing a cab to having Uber. Um, those changes took a number of years, if you remember. It took like 2 to 4 years to settle down. So AI is here to stay, but we don't know where AI is going to make the dent and how do we shift from our current roles in marketing, in BIE, in program management, in product management, in TPM, in customer service, in being technical lead and technical account managers. How do we take our existing experience and move in a growth direction that is sustainable? That's the main question on the table. The good news is it is very doable. Even in this limbo period, it is extremely doable as long as we focus on the right things. So in terms of prerequisites, the biggest thing is figuring out your identity. I'm not saying it takes the most amount of effort. It doesn't take the most amount of effort. Interview prep takes most amount of time. But figuring out identity is where I'm seeing folks struggling the most. Because in terms of interview prep, if I give a candidate, here are the 30 things that you need to know about a product management system design interview. Here are the 4 KPIs you need to know if you're adding an LLM and AI system within that system. They prepare, they take their time, but they come back and they prepare. Where they struggle to hone in is storytelling. What is their identity? So let's start there. By identity, I mean all of these LinkedIn hypes and hundreds of blog posts that I see. Revamp your resume, revamp your LinkedIn, $2,000 just for one LinkedIn revamp. It blows my mind. I have friends who are professors at the top 10 universities and they don't charge $2,000 for anything. And here is a person coming and telling you that give me $2,000 just to revamp your LinkedIn. It just blows my mind. Somebody told me these days, they actually aged me out. These days, resumes are colored resumes. And I had to stop and laugh for a moment. It's not about colored resumes. It's not about a format. Your format can be wonky. What matters is number one, knowing where the ATS system spends the most time. So the ATS system spends the most amount of weightage in the summary. So be it in your summary on your LinkedIn or the summary of your resume, that is your most valuable real estate. What do you do with that real estate? Tell a story. Don't tell a story of your entire 15 years. Don't tell a story of your full, 20 years worth of experience. Don't try to cover everything and add data pipeline and ETL and RAG and hallucinations and N8N. Don't buzzword stuff it. Think about a soccer match. A soccer match is a 90-minute soccer match. Do you remember all of it, or do you want to summarize all of it? Maybe, maybe not. But the most important are the 3 goals that happened in the soccer match, the 2 goals that happened in the soccer match. And that should be a summary. Your summary should be something to the effect of I have worked on product-led growth for the past 18 years. Worked in B2B and B2C across 5 different companies, which includes X, Y, and Z. My impact has been over, X million customers for this specific project across 3 continents, something to that effect. That the best things of all your project, there must be one project that has made a larger impact in terms of number of customers, a larger impact in terms of total revenue, take those highlights and make that your story. And very similarly, when you go into the bullet points within your resume or the details within your LinkedIn, please don't have 8, 9, 10 bullet points. Have three, maximum four bullet points. It's not necessary that the bullet point should be one line. That's nowhere a requirement. Your bullet point can be 2 lines, but it needs to tell a story. I led a program that spans across 35 different teams, which did cost optimization by 3% annually for oncology research. What this sentence does is, if your hiring manager is from utility company, if your hiring manager is from GE, if your hiring manager is from Amazon, um, they will still understand what oncology research is. They may not understand ETL and the details of your financial services domain, but make it high level enough, because the final impact is always high level enough for you to tell that story. Your oncology research. Talk about what you did. You led the program management, did cross functional collaboration, did launch management, whatever it is that you did. And then talk about the impact that oncology research may have touched the lives of X million customers, or, 10, 20, 30 different studies, or, 30 different B2B groups. Make it quantifiable. So that's about your identity. Before I go into the next pillar of discoverability, I wanted to stop and check if there are any questions. All right.
So I have a question. So what if our products are like internal and not touching the customers, like how Amazon is like doing the public facing, right? So how do you face your story?
Uh, Great question. And this is exactly where 9 out of 10 of my students get stuck. See, even if you are working on a DevOps product, you may be thinking that you are doing internal product. Say, for example, you're coding something, infrastructure design. At the end of the day, the pipeline doesn't end there. It impacts somebody internally, that impacts something in the front end, be it B2B or B2C. And that story is sometimes difficult to tease out, which is why I do, one-on-one sessions. But everything has an end impact. And for example, if it is truly internal, say, for example, you are doing something that improves manager and employee communication. That is truly just manager and employee communication, because we have products, we have plethora of internal products that's improving manager and employee communication. Um, that still improves efficiency. So even if it is for your company, a lot of people work in people technology, right? But even if you are working in people technology, you are still going to be impacting some sort of an optimization. Let me know if that made sense. And
Yeah,
we
that's
can
really
dive
good.
deep on that.
Okay. You just need to like show measurable impact for that project.
Measurable impact, but also storytelling, right? It's not
Mm.
only about 10% ops improvement, 10% revenue reduction, 10% efficiency improvement, but in what? In employee satisfaction. That part of the story shouldn't be so niche that the hiring manager doesn't understand, because the hiring manager may not be from your domain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And most things can be explained. Um, sure, there may be like a 2% things that is very niche, you're architecting N8N, but try to uplevel that story as much as possible so that it is generalized, because you have a placeholder. See, this rule is there are three things. Because of context, the context should be high level. I led the project. That's where you dive deep as to what your deliverable was, and then quantifiable outcome. Those are the three structures, three aspects of the story. Does that make sense, Emma?
Yes, it makes sense. Thank you.
All right. The next is discoverability. This is, resume and LinkedIn, I promise you, is 3% of the reason you're not getting reach outs. 97% is this discoverability strategy. I assure you that. Of course, your resume has to be somewhere where it is presentable, understandable, but it's 3% of the reasons you are not getting calls. Discoverability, the age has ended for good forever, where recruiters will come and reach out to you. A recruiter may still come and reach out to you, but that is an exception scenario at this point. That is not the norm. So, discoverability, unfortunately, there is no AI component to this. The discoverability is cold calling at this point. Because of AI, all of us are able to make resumes within 5 minutes. We look at a job description, give it to Copilot, we give it to ChatGPT, and they will give me a resume that completely matches the job, right? So there are 5,000 completely matching resumes to every job. So the application process and the miracles of improving your resume, that age is gone. What you need to do is cold call, unfortunately. The good thing is it works, it is free, and it doesn't take time. The bad thing is it is a difficult thing to do. Not in terms of time or effort, it's just a hard thing to do to reach out to somebody. People worry, would they think I am fraudulent, I'm audacious? I'm here to say no hiring manager thinks you're fraudulent. Your LinkedIn profile speaks for itself, it has depth in it. They may think you're audacious, but that's not going to harm you in any way. You need to utilize the connect button within LinkedIn. So, for example, if you submitted your resume for Netflix, after making that submission, take the word Netflix, then add director to it, and find directors in Netflix. You don't need to find who the exact hiring manager is. What you need to do is reach out to 3 to 5 folks that are direct at the right levels. The SVPs don't care about hiring. Below that, it doesn't matter to those employees, individual contributors. Directors is the right focus group. And you're not sending like 20 reach outs, send like 3, 4, 5 reach outs. But for every application, send the cold call reach outs. What will happen is 90% of the times you will not hear anything. It would be crickets. But the 10% of time that you do hear back, that will materialize to an interview right away. You are no longer sitting in a pool of 5,000 applicants. You have jumped. And what I am hearing a lot is, oh, I'm not applying. I haven't started applying because people are saying without referrals, I'm not going to get a job. So I'm not applying anymore. I'm going to wait and then reach out to my network. That's dependency. You don't need to depend on referrals on your existing network because you're going to run out of that network. How many friends do we have who are placed enough or close enough to refer with that kind of intent? You can be self-sufficient and create your own referral. And you're not begging for a job. You are not faking anything or taking too much time. It's a 3 line reach out, just 3 line reach out. Uh, Hi, I briefly wanted to introduce myself. I've spent 18 years in product management within customer service and B2B. In that regard, my latest project had impact on 3 million customer base. I'm currently looking for product management roles. Thank you for your consideration. It's not 3 sentences, but 3 lines. Within 200 characters, within 300 characters, you are not taking up too much time of the recipient. You are also not taking your own time because you're going to build that generic but genuine content only one time, and then it's copy paste. So it's not time intensive. It is free. You don't need to buy anything for it, and it totally works. I'm not going to give out names, but if you connect with me on LinkedIn and wanted referrals, I will connect with you with folks that have not gotten a single recruiter reach out. They have revamped their resume 3 times. They have paid so much money to improving their discoverability. For 8 months, zero recruiter reach out. And by doing this, folks are having multiple interviews over the next couple of weeks. I'm only sharing this because I know for a fact right now that it actually genuinely works, and it works 100% of the times. It's just a soul crushing process to do. I acknowledge that. Unfortunately, what I can't do is change the cards that we are dealt right now. All I can do is give you the strategy to play the cards well. So discoverability is actually the largest portion of what I wanted to share here. The last part is a prep kit. And here is where AI prominently comes into the picture. So the prep kit is three folders. You have a behavioral folder where you will have stories in six domains. The domains are success, where have you succeeded, where have you gone above and beyond for your customer, then failure. Don't make a strength your failure. Hiring managers know about it. Make it a clear failure story, but don't go overboard. If a failure related question comes in a behavioral round, they're looking for one failure. So you don't have to go overboard on it. Talk about a story where you failed to meet a deadline, failed to meet a KPI, and talk about how you learned from it, but also maybe how you recovered from it. There is a very good recovery thread possible as well. So success, failure, ambiguity. How have you dealt with ambiguity? Innovation is where AI comes into the play. If you are facing innovation related questions, that's where you can talk about, even if you have not built AI products, you can talk about a product or a feature that you've built. You can talk about a mechanism that as a program manager that you've pushed through, how that could have improved if you had an AI feature. If you could have LLM, large language models, if you could predict the future, how would that product have improved? How that mechanism and process would have improved? So innovation is where AI comes into the picture in behaviorals a lot. And then cadence, how fast have you delivered under strict timelines, and then conflict management. AI product sense is where strongly I would like for you to prepare. Build a folder and make sure that the Fortune 20 companies main products you are familiar with, and write down the product sense. Product sense is basically you write down the goal of the product, then you write down what customer segments for those product, then you go into the pain points of the customer segments that you have chosen, and lastly, how those pain point solution is going to improve the goal. That is a product sense format. Now, don't just write one or two stories. For Fortune 20 companies, all of the prominent product, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, PayPal, Uber, essentially all of the main products that are there, write them down in the structure that I just discussed. You don't really need to remember anything, not even SMART framework, circles framework, caffeine framework, coffee framework. In my 18 years, I have never spoken these words internally in any of the companies. My colleagues haven't when they're interviewing or when we are building products. Frameworks are not needed. What is needed is, what is my goal? What is my North Star? Then talk about, for those North Star, there may be 10 customer segment. Why did you choose one or two customer segment? Then write down within that customer segment, there may be a plethora of pain point. Why did you choose those three pain points? And then relate the solutions of those pain points back to the goal, how it improves the goal. And in all of this, AI plays a very important part. AI is non-deterministic, so the outcome now may be very varied. As a product owner, if you're going for an AI product or program management interview, how does that varied outcome help you address a larger set of customer segment concerns? But also, as a product owner, you need to be careful about the large amount of problems or complications that the AI system is bringing into the picture. Now you no longer only have to worry about the basic details of your KPI, you have to worry about KPIs like hallucination rate. Your hallucination rate must be less than 5%. You have to care about your F1 score. Do you need to balance precision or recall? Or are you within compliance industry and you need to only care about accuracy? So when you're writing those product sense questions within AI, you need to now add those KPIs as well. Prior to this, the KPIs you would care about is CSAT, customer satisfaction, retention rate, adoption, ARPU, average revenue per user, average revenue per paid user. Now you also have to write down how you brought the hallucination rate lower than 5%. And lastly, system design. System design, within the system design folder, we used to only have four basic components. You would have the client, you would have the services, you would have the databases, and then API communicating between all. And then you have, separately, you'll talk about caching, you would talk about content delivery network, security, observability, those aspects. But mainly, your brain, as it goes into your system design interview, needed only to have those four blocks. That's no longer true. Now you need to have AI. You need to have the orchestration layer of the AI. You need to have how you did pre-training, how you developed your RAG, and understand, not only talk about how RAG was developed and utilized, but why RAG was needed for that use case. Because remember, you're not going for a software development interview. You're going for a product manager interview. And for that interview, you have to be able to answer the question why RAG is needed, because RAG is expensive. Not all scenarios need RAG. So in my workshop, there are two workshops coming up. I dive deeper into these concepts. I give, for example, for system design, the 30 minute components that you need to focus on. Many of the basic questions of how tokenization and embedding play a factor, why and when do we need RAG. For the class that I pasted on here in the chat, for those who are joining this lightning lesson, I'm giving a promo code LL that will give you a 30% discount. That class is totally focused on this. I will go through an actual run through of a use case for a product, an AI product that I actually created. How did I decide the goal? How did I decide the KPIs? What problems did I face with golden data, too much golden data, too little golden data? How did I do pre-training, eval, human reinforced evals, and then post-training? So I'll go through all of that in that master class for product sense. And I hope that you guys will join. A shameless plug, that specific course right now is ranking ninth in all of Maven's workshops. So I'm really hoping that I get more participants. So with that being said, I'm going to stop here and see if there are any questions.
So I have a question, Godali. So
Yeah.
in case, see, I'm using AI for actually the coding and other things, but not actually in the sense like creating an agent or like developing a system that needs a rack. So do you suggest for people like us who are not like doing agentic development or any development with AI, only help like using AI as a tool? Do you like do projects before attending the interviews? Because all these scenarios we can speak about the RAG and other things only if you have done projects on that, right?
Mhm. So, where are you hoping to go next, Hema, is the question. Like, my answer would be tailored towards the job that you're applying for.
Yeah, I would
Because,
like to. Yeah,
yeah.
I would like I mentioned in the morning, I would like to pivot to AI product manager space. So I would like to learn things on the side, but I don't think in the near future I will be able to employ this in my current work position. That's
You
what I'm getting at.
absolutely, yeah, you absolutely won't be able to, which is why you need to understand how basic product management works. Product management is a product management speak, we call. So, how do we speak product management and how to bring AI into it? That is exactly what the masterclass is about. You there, it's not necessary because AI has not been in our zeitgeist for more than 3 years. But it has actually. AI, Gen AI, and agentic solution, even though as buzzwords we have been using for the last couple of years, what is agentic? When you understand that, you can tell that story. Um, agentic solution is anything. We have been creating predictive solutions and non-deterministic solutions for a long time. And agentic is anything that goes in the back end and does the work for you. We have not been doing it through N8N and Zapier for more than 3 years, but we've been building systems like that for a long time. So if you're going for that AI product operator role, we have to find within your story things that you have created. Either we have to build a story on how they would have improved through AI, and that becomes your story as you are either creating your identity or doing your interview prep. That story can be weaved in. Or we can look into the work that you've actually done in the last 8 years, 10 years, however long you have been a professional, and see that even without buzzwords, where you have done agentic work. My agentic work started in 2013. This was 11 years before we would ever use the word agentic. It's just about that is why you need to understand the fundamentals. Like I ask people, what is AI? And you'll be shocked how many times I don't get the correct answer. What is AI? How is an AI system different than a non-AI systems? And it has stopped surprising me how many times. And these people know RAG and how to build N8N far better than me. They don't know how to answer the question. And that is why the offer letters don't mature. Even if your resume, you are getting to a perfect place, it doesn't mature to an offer letter because without knowing those fundamentals, you're not giving the hiring manager what they need. James, I
Yeah.
see a question linked to the deck that will be sent out with the recording. So the material, the promo code, the link to the deck, all of it would be sent out with the email, James. It might take me up until tomorrow. I apologize. All right. If there are no other questions, I really appreciate all of you guys joining. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and hope to see you guys in my class next week. Thank you so much and have a great rest of the day.
Hey, good. That's one question.